All right, hey, back again. Opinionated Faxx. Got the boys back in. We got Mr. Cigar Loving Matt, Soul Toast, and myself, Hollywood. Hey, so right now we're gonna go over the top boom or bust potential players heading to the NFL draft. All right. Now, if everyone doesn't know what a boom or bust is, it's either they're gonna be great or they're gonna be shit. Hey, all right. That's what it's gonna be. All right. So the top players that I was able to get on my list right now are Tyson Campbell, cornerback. We got Landon Dickerson, the guard. Trey Lance, quarterback. Jason Alway, defensive end. Rondell Moore, wide receiver. Jalen Phillips, defensive end. And last but not least, Gregory Rousseau at defensive end. All right. So a lot of these names on here, I can understand why they're listed as a boom or bust, possibly. You know what I mean? But it could be good at next level, could be bad at next level. So based off this list or anything you guys were able to pick up, who's one of those top boom or bust candidates? Cigar 11 Matt, bro, what you got?
It's off of that list you just had?
Off of that list I had, man, or you saw anybody else that turns out as a boom or bust candidate?
I got a different name for you, and it's people gonna be like, "What the fuck? He's a hater." Surtain.
Patrick Surtain.
And it's just biased because I don't trust Alabama defensive backs. I just don't. They're not saying they don't produce defensive backs, not saying they never have, but I'm just saying, listen, they've had to my boom and bust. Dante, what's his name? Milner.
D. Milner?
Yeah, D. Milner. They got drafted by the goddamn Jets. Everybody told me he was going to be the best goddamn cornerback the last 10 years in the draft. D. Milner was terrible.
Now, 4.32?
Yeah, he had a hell of a pro day, hell of a combine. I think Patrick Surtain is going to be a good player. I'm just going to be honest about it. I do. But I can also see a scenario in which getting away from the Alabama environment where it's very DB friendly because Nick Saban was a DB coach, I can see a scenario in which he struggles. And my biggest example of that is last year, I think I told you this, Jeff Okudah, wasn't nobody going to tell me Jeff Okudah wasn't going to be the best rookie DB in the NFL. I'm like, dude, Jeff Okudah is a no-bust prospect. Jeff Okudah was terrible, like from Ohio State. I mean, just fucking awful. Jeff Okudah, he was not what I thought he was going to be. Now, he's in Detroit, and you always got to give somebody a little bit of credit for being there because it's fucking Detroit. So I'm going to give him some credit on that one. But, yeah, for me, I'm going to say Patrick Surtain because I can just see a situation in which he struggles, at least that first year, right? That first year where the transition is kind of hard. Us Falcon fans were all pissed off about A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell fared pretty decently that rookie year. He wasn't great, but motherfuckers told me he was going to be the worst defensive back in the draft class. He was going to be terrible. He's going to get skid marked every week. He actually had a lot of bright spots, and I'm excited to see what he does his sophomore season. So for me, it's Patrick Surtain. If he hits, you're looking at Charles Woodson level talent. If he busts, you're looking at goddamn D. Milner.
And you know what? Hey, I'm glad you brought AJ Terrell because I definitely thought he was going to be really bad for us. He had flashes.
I didn't know what to think. He definitely hit mark sometimes too. Listen, he took his lumps too, but he also has a lot of bright spots, man. He showed you a lot of potential there. And that's really all you can ask from these guys, especially DBs in the league. This pass happy league now, you can't expect the kid to come out and be a Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey level talent off the rip.
Right.
But you know, it's just one of them situations where I think you can see some struggles.
Exactly. You know, I'm with that. Hey, Sotos, what you got?
So, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by saying I think it's all depends on where a player gets drafted, if they can be labeled a boom or a bust. If someone thinks they're a second or third round talent, but someone trades up and picks them in the first round and they're not as great as a first round pick should be, that's not on the player. That's on the team that picked them. With that being said, I'm gonna have to go with current Heisman winner, Devontae Smith from Alabama. Now, it's boom or bust, so he can either be fantastic and great, depending on what team he goes to. I think his ceiling is like a Tyreek Hill type player, a deep threat. I don't think he's going to be getting open like he did in Alabama, but you could say that with all players when they they go up to the next level and all that. But I think the last 2 draft classes were full of pretty darn good receivers. So if he gets drafted early, he's probably going to get drafted to a team that needs more than just a wide receiver. And I think whatever situation he ends up going to, if it's early, it's going to be on a team that needs more than just a deep threat wide receiver. So I think he can be great, but I don't know. It's just there's so many wide receivers that came out recently, running backs too.
He's got small frames. So
I think he's just going to get. What's that?
So he's got small body, so I get it.
Yeah, he's smaller and all. So whenever rules get changed in NFL to make offensive plays easier and all that, there's an upswing in production on the offensive side, but then the defense catches up. Defense is starting to, and I think he's getting with his size and what he's really good at. I just don't think it's going to translate great into the NFL. I think he could be good. I hope all these players are great, but they're not. Everyone in the first round is not going to be great. It just hasn't ever happened.
Oh, you're freezing up, boss.
So if I had to pick, I would say the floor is. What's that?
So you locked up on us, man. You got off that. You got to get off that satellite internet.
Oh no!
You got that dial-up, brother.
Nah, man, my stuff's good. I got that good. I don't know what's going on. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying Devontae Smith. I think his ceiling is high. I think he can be great, but I just think he's coming in a situation off 2 years of pretty good receivers coming out and the defense starting to catch up with the offense. I think he's just coming into a bad situation with his size.
You know what? You gave a comparison for Devontae Smith. Say he was Tyreek Hill. You know, this is my comparison for him. Matt, you might give me some agreement with that, but I think he reminds me of a faster Calvin Ridley. Honestly, he reminds me of a faster Calvin Ridley.
I think he's gonna be a bad dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
I hope he is.
Yeah.
Because even Calvin Ridley with his route running is a bad dude. But you get speed with his route running, it took some.
And he got more. He's a more sure-handed Calvin Ridley. Like his hands are very clean. Clean. Calvin took him like a year and a half, 2 years to get together.
Yeah, but you're right, Soto. It all depends on the situation he goes to. Say, for instance, he does get drafted by Miami, the Dolphins. I wouldn't call it a bad situation for him because, one, they have Devontae Parker on the other side who's showing that he's being a really good receiver. And maybe it might help too. So who knows? But it really will depend. It really will depend on where he goes. Right. But on this list, for me, it's 2 players. Jason Alway, for example. He's one of the ones I think could be a boomer bust candidate. Running a 4.3, it depends on where he gets drafted at what position he plays at. Will he go to, let's give an example, the Falcons and play in the outside linebacker in the 3-4, or go to a team and play in a 4-3, where he'll look more like a struggling, what's the boy that used to play for the Chicago Bears? Came out of Georgia.
I thought you were going to say somebody else. Don't say that. Don't you dare say his name. Don't you?
Yeah, man.
I'm talking about Floyd. Leonard Floyd out of Georgia.
And that's what he'll remind me of. That's like his floor. Like Leonard Floyd's first few seasons in Chicago was terrible. I'll be real. He wasn't great. You know
very big. He's not a very big player either. Another one of them.
Exactly. They about ran the same size. Yeah. They about ran the same size. So that's what I get from Jason Howard. So it really depends on where he goes and what system he goes into. And the other name is Gregory Rousseau. I'm going with Gregory Rousseau because he really is a boom or bust candidate. Like the dude is 6'7", 260. He's a big boy. Prototypical. That's who
the man that I have been the type of size I have been dreaming for Dan Quinn to draft all those years.
Exactly.
You can't that size, man. That's prototypical.
That's something you can't teach, man. I mean, his size is like one of the sizes we see. Like, think of a Sean Oatman, for example. Remember when he was in college, everyone saw this dude. He was like, what, 6'8", almost 6'8", 6'9", big dude. That's the size you wanted in the NFL next level. But he fucked up along the line, so that's neither here or there. But Gregory Rousseau is the same way. He had one great season productivity with 15 and a half sacks, but then he sat out last year.
Right.
So that could hurt him a whole lot.
Yeah, we don't know what we're looking at. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's the most intriguing prospect because of that. I mean, you came off a season like that. You want this guy to do well next level, but he sat out 3 years because of COVID. Now you don't know.
Well, we know Atlanta won't draft him. We 3-4. So now we're looking for outside linebacker types now. So
Exactly.
he definitely a prototypical hand in the dirt 4-3 DE.
Yep.
So wherever he goes, it'll be a very traditional role for him. Very physically gifted guy. Very physically gifted guy. Like that's the kind of guy. As you told me 2 years ago, he's in draft. That's the kind of guy I want right there, right? So,
exactly.
But I am scared because he didn't play last year, so I don't know if that 1 year was a fluke.
Exactly. So, hey, but tell me this, Matt. Since Tyson Campbell is on that list, how do you feel about him being on a boom and bust candidate?
I feel the same way. Tyson Campbell. So, look, I'm just a fan, right? We're all fans. We don't watch tape like scouts watch tape, right? We hadn't learned to break down tape. So I don't know what I'm looking at. I'll be willing to admit that I get that. But I watch these games, and I've been watching Tyson Campbell for 3 years, and I've been waiting to see this guy live up to his recruitment, because him and Patrick Surtain, they were the two best DBs coming out in that year's signing class. Tyson Campbell wasn't bad, but I just didn't see a very special player either. To like the way when I read about him, I keep hearing about his physicality. But man, when I watch him play, man, I don't see a lot of times the technique with him. Like he'll be near the ball, but he won't turn his head to make a play on the ball, and the guy still make a play on the ball. Like he was there, but he couldn't make a play on it. Since I don't watch, I clearly the scouts know what they're watching. So it's something there. Physically, we know we got it. He's 6'2", like 210 pounds, ran a 4.4. He's gonna pass all the measurables in that way. But game tape, I would love to sit down with like a scout, a DB scout, and tell me was Georgia hindering him with the way they were playing him, because Kirby loves to play a lot of man on man. Kirby loves man on man, like he loves man defense. So maybe a situation where his skill set was just misapplied. Because I look at the guy that took his job, Tyson Campbell, and that's the guy I want on my team, because that guy competes. That guy's always in position. And
you mean Eric Stokes, brother?
Who did I say?
You said Tyson Campbell.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Eric Stokes. My bad. I look at Eric Stokes and I'm like, that's the guy I want, because that's the dude that showed me down in, down out. He's where he's supposed to be. Not that he never got beat, but he's a competitor that plays with good technique. But clearly scouts don't agree. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm gonna watch Tyson Campbell closely in whoever drafts him, because I want to see. Maybe, like I said, maybe it could have been simply a philosophy mismatch with him. That it could be that simple.
You know, but let's be real. I mean, some of these scouts are wrong, like 100%. Like, and I say this, Auburn, for example. Last year we had a cornerback, Noah Igbenani. I can't remember scary to say his last name. Even when he was a team for so long, his name was just one of his last names. It's hard to say. But they had him projected as a first-round cornerback. And when I saw that, I'm like, what are they seeing that I?
What are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
Yeah, for the whole entire time he was with Auburn, he was always getting penalties. Yes, he played well a lot of the time, especially in the SEC. But I will never call him a first-round cornerback. And he was drafted by Miami, and he wasn't playing well in Miami. So you know what I mean. So these guys can be wrong when they look at some of these talent. Like if you see the physical talents that these players have, I got you. I get it. Just say that. But someone don't have those. They don't have the talent, man. Like he might thrive well in a zone system, but you got this dude man to man. He gets handsy. He wants to bump and run more than he should. You know what I mean? He gets called for a lot of penalties. He actually fell out the lineup a little bit in Miami. I think he's back in the lineup, but he fell out a little bit. So, with some of these players, man, what these scouts are saying, it's hard to kind of figure it out. Like Jason Alway, for example, they're saying that he's going to be one of the best defensive ends in class.
I comp for Jason Alway. I saw on Twitter they're comping Jason Alway to Danielle Hunter.
What?
I don't. I listen. I will always say I don't watch all these teams. I damn sure ain't watching no film. I ain't got no damn time. No one has access to like the scouts tapes or the tapes that they watch to break this stuff down, bro. Daniil Hunter's a physical menace, bro. Like
where did he play at? Where did he play at too? Daniil Hunter, he played at LSU, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Look where he played at. Jason always played at Penn State. All right. And he wasn't even the best player on the team.
Yeah.
By far. And they're hyping him up. I don't get it. I just don't.
I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, motherfucker, you watch more than I watch, so I guess the Tyson Campbell thing, I'm confused, but I'm gonna watch his career closely because it'll be a perfect example of you just don't know what the hell you're watching, and I perfectly I understand that. Right, I don't understand. It's the same thing when people drafted Paris Campbell last year, 2 years ago out of Indianapolis. I could have swore Paris Campbell was gonna be like a Tyreek Hill, like a weapon. Like I thought Paris Campbell was gonna tear the league up. Hey, bro, I put him on my fantasy team as a rookie because I'm like, bro, I know something nobody else knows. Paris Campbell about to be the shit at Ohio State, and he wasn't shit. I mean, fucking Ohio State.
You know, that's how some people were too. You know, some people his rookie year they drafted John Ross and put him in their fantasy lineup. You know what I mean? Because they seen what he did at the combine, ran a 4.2.
Because he ran a 4.2 somewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
And what did he do? Not a damn thing. He's in New York right now. You see what I mean?
And then you have those players that don't fit anywhere, like the kid we just signed, the man, Cordell Patterson. Like everybody thought he was gonna be this great wide receiver. Turns out he's more of he can play wide receiver, but he's not really great there. He can play like he's more of a kick return running back.
Yeah,
he's all purpose player.
Drafted. Yeah, so some guys take time to adjust to their roles or fit into a situation. And man, look,
I like how you said that. You know what? Here's one player. I like this player, man. I like him in return game. Trendon Holiday. Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
Now that name was sound familiar.
He played for Denver, man. He was a returner. The dude was like 5'5", 5'6".
Oh yeah,
little dude.
But he can return the hell out of the ball, man.
Yeah.
It's like where do you put him at? Especially when he came into the league. Like you want to put him in wide receiver? Nah. You can't put him in running back, it's too small. But he turns out to be a great all-purpose player.
Devin Hester was that way.
Yeah, Devin Hester
the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another player, I don't know if y'all heard his name in a long time, but Dexter McCluster. Remember him?
Yeah, yes. I remember him.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah, those kind of guys. Yeah, they're weapons because you just don't know where to put them. Anytime
right.
somebody referred to as a weapon, I'm like, because that's the talk, like Kadarius Toney. That's the kind of talk he's starting to generate now. It's like, well, he's a good wide receiver. Is he great at anything? No. Could you put him in a running back role, like in space, third down back type situation? Perhaps. I think Kadarius Toney's going to be a good player, but I can see him being one of those kinds of players where he don't really fit anywhere. So it's going to take a creative offensive guy to really take advantage of him.
Exactly. Right. Hey, Kadarius Toney's your guy, Soul Toast. What you think, man? Next level, what is he doing?
I don't know. I don't see him, like you said, I don't see him lighting up anything. Not a number 1 or 2 receiver or anything like that. I see him as a weapon, as a Darren Sproles type of player. They just put him in different spots. He'll probably get a lot of time on special teams, but he is a weapon. I don't think he'll be a great weapon. He'll be a good, solid weapon. Someone you could bring in to catch in the backfield or in the slot. If he has a good supporting cast at receivers, I think he can do a lot of good things. I don't really see him like a 1,000-yard receiver, but in that 7, 8, a few touchdowns a season or something like that. Yeah. Rushing yards, a mix of both, but not really great in one thing. Because when he was at Florida, he had a great supporting cast on offense, and he didn't do a whole lot, but he did a lot. But it was Kyle Pitts and everyone else. So I think whoever gets him, they're definitely getting a weapon. But just don't expect him to be a number one or number two.
Hey, we saying all this right now. Kyle Pitts gonna be the bust. Kadarius Toney gonna be.
Don't do that.
Kadarius Toney gonna be fucking Tyreek Hill.
Don't do that.
You know what? If there's one player I would not label a boom and bust, it's gonna be Kyle Pitts.
It's Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts look as unbustable as that as it comes, bro. Like, dude, he's gonna fucking terrorize the NFL.
He's gonna scare some people, bro.
Nobody guard him. He gonna be
real.
I hope the Falcons draft him. I put it out there.
Look at
I hope y'all do too.
Hey, the man is 6'6". You line him up with any strong safety. He's destroying them.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious to see how he does, man. If Atlanta drafts him, I think we'll have the best dual tight end system we've ever had.
Hey, we're gonna be losing games 42-56. It's gonna be so fun. It's so fucking fun, bro.
Don't do us like that. Hey, rise up, baby. Rise up.
We're gonna be the best. Hey, we're gonna be the best 9-8 offensive.
We're gonna skate by them. We're gonna get to the playoffs. The last team in.
Might.
It could happen, man. But hey, these boom and bust talents, man, we're going to see how they're going to go. We could have the next Myles Garrett. We could have the next Deion Jordan. We could have the next Patrick Peterson, and we could have the next D. Milner, man. We don't know how these guys are going to turn out. It's all about the situation they go into, what team they go to, how the system works, and do they fit it. And that's how it's going to be.
Look, I'm glad you said that because I'm on Twitter a lot, and these fucking fans be arguing up and down like they know. And it's like, guys, we don't know. Like, if you mad at your GM for drafting a player that you ain't never watched, calm the hell down. You don't fucking know. Okay,
right.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so whenever my GM drafts a guy, I hope for the best. That's all I do. Like, I hope he's good. I don't fucking know unless it's one of the dudes I watch at Georgia or the SEC in general. Other than that, I don't fucking know.
I'll say
this.
Whoever the Jets,
some kid from Iowa State, I don't know. I hope he's good.
Right. Whoever the Jets pick a number 2 gonna be a bust.
Yes.
I can tell you that right now. That's
Zach
guaranteed.
Wilson. Hey, Zach Wilson. I'm sorry.
That is never a good situation.
Never a good situation. You're gonna suck. It is what it
Sorry.
is.
I'll tell you what though, you made a good example there. You know, whatever GMs draft, man, he's hope for the best. I'll be honest with you, man. When we drafted Matt Ryan, I ain't know what to expect. I did not know what to expect Matt Ryan.
I didn't know either.
But then here he goes. His first NFL pass, touchdown. I was like, oh shit.
He's been a solid, he's been a good player ever since. You know,
exactly, man. And that just shows we don't know.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned the Matt Ryan draft because the fucking fans, along with the infamous D. Orlando Ledbetter of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, I'm calling his name. I'm calling out the fucking publication. He was so pro Glenn Dorsey that he thought the Falcons had made like the biggest mistake of all time when we took Matt Ryan. Mm-hmm. He was Glenn Dorsey. And this was in 2008. Listen, I will say this as a general rule, if I'm a GM, if I got an elite quarterback prospect or an elite D tackle, I'm taking a fucking quarterback unless I got like Patrick Mahomes. But if you quarterback, right. If you need a quarterback and you need a D tackle and they're both elite prospects, you take the fucking quarterback. What are you doing, you fucking moron? I'm sorry.
And tell me this.
D. Orlando Ledbetter on Twitter, he annoys the shit out of me like he does everybody else. And I'm sorry. I will never forget the kind of grief he gave Dimitrov for taking the quarterback over Glenn Dorsey. Because remember, Miami took Jake Long in that draft.
Yeah, number one.
See how that turned out. They regret not taking Matt Ryan to this day. So
exactly. And look at this. How many of those players in the 2008 draft are really still in the league? You know, I looked that up a little while ago. I won't say earlier today. I was just curious. You know, Keith Rivers, he was in that draft. I don't know. He was a linebacker at USC, man. I haven't seen him in Lord knows how long. Matt Ryan
went to Cincinnati. That's why.
Where everybody goes to die right there. Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But look, man, Glenn Dorsey's ain't even in the league anymore.
Bust.
If you probably can go through that 2008 draft list, and majority of players aren't even in the league anymore. Matt Ryan's still in the league at 35, 36, however old he is, kicking, getting it.
Yeah.
So I mean, so we just never know, man.
You don't know.
You don't know. You gotta give it at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. At least. Matt Ryan showed me his first pass. I was like, this motherfucker gonna be something else. So I was sold after that.
That was a pretty ball on that sideline too.
Pretty ball. Ain't nobody expect that.
Yeah.
Unless you draft an offense like Jamarcus Russell, you got to give it 2 or 3 years.
Is that you know what? I'm gonna use Denver as another example, man. When y'all drafted Von Miller, that boy was he showed out. He showed out immediately.
Day one.
Like for real. Yeah. It's like sometimes, man, you gotta look at these players and you gotta hope for the best with it. So Von Miller came up with did he play outside linebacker or defensive end at Texas A&M?
I wonder if he's outside linebacker.
I think he's outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Right. When he came into the league, you didn't think, okay, this guy's gonna be one of those guys getting 10 plus sacks every year almost. You didn't think that. Unblockable. The way he was, man. You just never thought that. But here he is, killing the league.
Yeah.
When healthy.
Exactly. Hey, man, that's how we're gonna end it, man. These boomer bust candidates, we're gonna see how they're gonna turn out next level. I'm curious. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready for the draft. That's next week, by the way.
Yes.
Next week.
Finally.
But hey, man, while we getting ready to head out, man, a bit off topic. Your latest episode came out, man. What y'all got to say?
Hey, hey, right now we're focused on Invincible. We're focused on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Me and Sotos, we'll be recording the next episode tomorrow. I'll be there.
Oh, hey, there we go.
I'll be there. It'll be more Invincible talk. I just put it this way. If you're not watching Invincible, you fucking missing the fuck out. Straight up. Like, it's one of the best comic book stories going right now. It's a cartoon, all-star voice cast, just stupendous shit. And of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that series is about to conclude. So we'll be keeping up with that well all the way up through the runtime, man. So that's the focus right now. And then after that, we'll get together and kind of put together some more stuff to talk about and have some more fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's about to be summertime. You know, some movies about to come out. So, you know what I mean? I know we're going to expect a lot of big things from y'all.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, for sure. Hey, that's what we got right here, man. Remember to follow us on IG, Opinionated Faxx. Once again, the music on this show is by my boy, Mr. KB on Track, YFG. Look him up on IG. All right. And we also got a Twitter. Twitter should be Opinionated Faxx as well. So check us out, man. And that's all we got. We out.
That's it.